All right. You ready? Set. Go live. We're going live. I think we're on live TV all over the world. Hello, everybody. Um, so I don't know how many of you know about 5G. Really fascinating. So I was just warming up my cup of coffee, and I was standing in front of the microwave, which you shouldn't. All the McDonald workers, they got the goddamn microwave near their balls and or their head. You shouldn't be standing in front of the microwave. It does irradiate RF. So I just got an anchor and I'm waiting for the stove to warm up the house. We're having a good night here. And I was saying, get a little diet there with your microwave, you know, and start standing in front of it and be prepared for 5G that's coming. Now, your microwave oven, mine anyways, operates on 1.2 gigahertz or 1200 megahertz and puts on a power of 1000 watts or 1 kilowatt. I should write all that shit down on a scrap piece of paper because you might be too stoned, but bear with me. So your microwave radiates at 1.2 gigahertz and puts out 1 kilowatt. But that's what mine does. So this 5G that's coming, from what I've read, puts out 138 gig to 178 gig. You see what I'm saying? That's what the radiating power. You ain't gonna escape this shit in the fucking Grand Canyon. You ain't gonna shake this shit in backcountry. This shit's coming out everywhere. And it's mandatory. It's mandatory. Mandated. They're keeping you safe, people. So we're in 100. Well, let's call it only 120 gig. So I'm not good at math, but if my microwave puts out 1200, and we're talking about 120 gig, I don't know the mathematic figures. I have to use my calculator, my phone, or something. Nah, I could probably figure it out. Don't put out 300 goddamn kilowatts out of a tower. No, I'm not sure that's a radiated power. If that's power at the fucking antenna in that band, it's so easy to gain, what they call gain. Your antenna has gain. Thousands of possibly decibels. Thousands of decibels. Coming out of 300 kilowatts. Now, you ever see what a microwave does to a hot dog? My theory is if you get too up close to this tower as you drive, you may start looking like that. So I'm a little bored, waiting for a warm up, and I just figured I'd get that out there, that I would be very, 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 very worried about this 5G that they got coming. We got so much RF hitting us, it's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. If you look at the satellites, there's satellites up there I can get an RF signal from. Thousands of them. We're being bombarded with RF. 5G, that's another thing. You folks, Get that Wi-Fi in your house. Turn it off when you go at night. Turn it off. I think that's 5 gigahertz. 5 gigahertz. 5 times the microwave up. A lot less wattage. And what I learned, and I can't do it with mine, but if you get these new Wi-Fi things, you can go into menu and lower your RF signal. There's no reason for my RF signal to be this high. I can't lower it. I would. Connecting the computer up is probably the best way to eliminate a lot of the RF. But then this house has a goddamn smart meter, man. I'm getting RF out of that. This RF coming out of there, I think it's 4 gig, I think. Radiate 4 gig. This is crazy, man. We're being bathed in RF. And high RF, too. Like I'm a ham radio operator. I work low band. I work, the highest I ever worked was 400 megahertz, 440 megahertz. I never went up above that. There's guys that play a microwave, legally in this country. I just don't choose to be around that high RF. Mostly it's low band, 3.8 meg, daytime 14 meg. And I really got into this band called 40 Meters. And to understand a guy in Australia running 100 watts through a tower, and I'm getting his signal all the way the whole distance from 100 watts out of his radio gear is pretty phenomenal. So right now, if you turn on any radio, shortwave, whatever, you'll see all the RF that's being transmitted. I don't think it's all bad. But when you start talking 5G coming our way, this is not a good thing. This is not a good thing. Just the wildlife. Again, let's talk about the wall this clown wants to build in Mexico and shut out the turtles, the goddamn goats, the elk that migrate across that border. You're going to put a fucking fence up. You'll put a fence up with this RF. Real easy. Real easy. And that's the amplifier's running capability. And that, I think that's like full load. Not max load. It's just running time load. I think if they can go up to 500 kilowatts without a problem. Maybe even 1,000. I don't know. So 5G's on its way. And you should look into it. Plenty of YouTube. This YouTube, I don't think anyone can really understand if you haven't been on YouTube. The joy I get from it, the simplicity of learning from other people and other people's opinions. The tinfoil hat. Like, I don't think I'll run a tinfoil hat. If I had the money, I'd put a steel roof on this house in a heartbeat. I'd put a fucking steel roof right on here. And I'd ground it. You're damn right I'd ground it. So, the bees, the birds flying close by, we worry about goddamn windmills killing a bird. How many years did I hear that shit? And one YouTube video in there about a fucking hawk, I think, got hit by a fucking windmill. And we're going to put up these RF towers. Do you really think a hawk flying by these towers could withstand that? I don't know. How about a bumblebee? How about a honeybee? So that's about all I got to say for 5G. I hope you look into it. There's a lot of good information out there. Um, one of the things they say is, how do you know? You know, whether if you get into something that has documentation and FCC spokesman, that's coming out of the horse's mouth. They're the ones that are opening the door for this. And very dangerous. There's a place not far from here, really goes up my ass sideways. And I stand in there and I don't feel any RF present. But the house across the street, man, is loaded. Loaded. It's not on the tower, it's on the house. I'm like, where's this shit going? So, anyways, go check into YouTube. Really, check some of that stuff out on 5G. You got kids, pay attention, teach them well. Turn your fucking Wi-Fi off at night. Put on a timer. Then people got regular schedules. Just put your Wi-Fi on a timer. But Wi-Fi saturation is, if you're getting it on your laptop or your computer or your cell phone, you're getting fucking heavy. So I'm not trying to blow the technology away. I'm just saying that in the Wi-Fi case, you can do something about it. And you should. You should lower your Wi-Fi signal footprint and turn it off at night, in my opinion. You guys have a good night. Say hello to the sun tomorrow. I probably won't be making it. Have a good evening.